I am 17.
22.
18.
I'm 15 and I live in Dallas, Texas.
I think people in my generation are less tolerant to blatant racism.
Kids nowadays tend to grow up thinking that the problem's in the past.
I don't see color.
It feels bad to know that I am better off because I was born this way.
I would be in jail if I wasn't white.
Hello, are you a person of color looking to get a loan, a job, or avoid police harassment? Please call the 1-800 White Man Privilege Hotline now. Our roster of white men will come to your rescue in almost any situation. Avoid redlining. We can co-sign your mortgage, help you hail a cab downtown, and stop store managers from following you. At job interviews, we can give you that special seal of approval. Our white men will vouch for your intelligence, and you won't even have to remove your dreadlocks. All right, Jamal?
I did want to preface this by saying that I am not a Muslim. I'm not any religion at all. But it bothered me when you were talking about Islam being not a religion of peace. Muhammad was a very peaceful man.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, well,
No.
And he had a great respect for women.
You can't believe in equal rights and not be prepared to be called a feminist, because that is what it is. I hate to break it to you, but that's what it is. You believe in equal rights, you're a feminist. You don't, you're an asshole. Is it really that hard to understand?
People of color have to deal with racial microaggressions every single day. So microaggressions are those little unintentional insults that basically see people of color as stereotypes. Which got me thinking, what if white people had to deal with racial microaggressions?
So like, where are you from?
No, like, where are you really from?
Why don't you have an accent? Like a Swedish accent.
You know, your English is really, really good. It's like I can't even tell you have an accent or anything.
I don't have an accent.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You don't speak Gaelic?
You don't speak German?
Can you say a curse word in European?
You know, like, what does that even mean?
Hey, Connor, you know about NASCAR stuff, right? Can you take a look at this?
Can you teach me how to line dance?
Play the banjo?
Act entitled in the supermarket.
I love white food. No real flavor to it. Never an upset tummy.
You're so exotic.
How do you get your hair like that? I love how it's so limp.
Ew, why does it feel like that? Oh my god, so it just does that?
No, you are really pretty for a white girl.
Your eyes are so round.
My short skirt is about discovering the power of my lower calves, about cool autumn air traveling up my inner thighs, about allowing everything I see or pass or feel to live inside of me. My short skirt is not proof that I am stupid or undecided or a malleable little girl.
Countries far from equal. We gonna take action. We want our rights. You know we want them. You know we want them. You know we want them. Swore for our girls. 19th Amendment. Seneca Falls Convention. We aren't your women.
Scarborough shot! No coffee! No more dialogue! We want action! No more dialogue! We want action! I was in a class this week called Intro to Latino Studies, and we learned about institutionalized racism, and a white male walked out of the room because he has the privilege, the luxury, to not know what everybody around you, look around you, all these people face on a daily basis.
My pronouns are not preferred. They're not a preference. They are mandatory for interaction with me. I do not expect everyone in the world to understand my identity. I barely understand my identity myself. You don't have to understand someone to respect them or their wishes. So I don't have to understand what it is to be a black person to speak respectfully to black people. I'm pretty sure that you can do the same for trans people, specifically non-binary people. We are not new. We are not trendy. We are not interesting or something that you can fetishize or try to, you know, just fucking sum up. It's just off. Just shut the fuck up. Change your language. Like, no one is female bodied. No one is born a girl. No one is any of that. Like, we are assigned genders at birth by doctors who look at us and see certain types of genitalia and decide what our identity will be from there on out. That's an act of violence. That should be stopped. That's not my fucking fault that that happened. I guess that's it, honestly. Just stop. Like, none of this is preferred, none of this is opinion, it's facts. These are facts that you need to get used to because you share a space with us, you live in the same world as us, we're getting massacred and killed, we're in a state of emergency, the least you could fucking do is not misgender me. How's that sound?
Your camera, all I did was put it in front of your camera, and I can put it in front of your camera as much as I want. I can put it in front of your camera as much as I want. I'm not touching you. I can speak to you just like this as much as I want to. You're here to incite violence. You're here to incite violence against brown bodies and black bodies. You're here to incite violence against brown bodies and black.
I love all of the signs. Oh my God, this is amazing. Hold your signs up. We gotta make this happen. We gotta post this. I love it. Yes. Yes. Are you guys out there taking selfies? Are you making friends? No problem.
Try calling white people white. One of the things that will happen is that a lot of white people will call you racist. What's really going on is they want you to protect them from never having to think about race. That's protecting their privilege. The privilege to walk through life whistling and not having to think about it. I have a white friend who said to me one time, "How often do you think about your race?" I told her maybe 3-4 times a week. I thought I was being honest with myself, admitting that I sometimes think about race. Then she said, "See that black guy over there? How often do you think he thinks about race?"
The ideology of whiteness as status utterly envelops us, Europeans, in its poisonous embrace. We cannot escape its cocoon. Rather, we carry whiteness with us like a charm that protects us from harm, shields us from impact as we dive from the known to the unknown, parachute from one spot on the globe to another as immigrants, tourists, or do-gooders abroad. The poison of white supremacy we ingest with our mother's milk lingers.
Excuse me, everyone. Can I ask you to listen to me for a minute, please? I have a little girl. She was very abused for her entire life. She was terrified. She has a very determined look in her eyes wherever she goes. And she was hurt and abused her entire life because of this establishment and because of establishments like it. She was locked away. She was hidden. She had nobody there for her. She was crying. She was scared every single moment. And because her usefulness had run out, she was going to be killed. Someone was going to murder her. And I can see you smiling, and I can see you laughing, but to her this is not funny. I went in there with other humans, and I took her out of there. And if I hadn't, she wouldn't be with me right now. She would be gone, just like all of her sisters, just like everybody who we left behind. And I'm here to tell you today that all of those other girls and everyone who we left behind, they just wanted to live too, and they deserve their lives. And right now their eggs and their milk and their bodies are on plates inside this restaurant, and that is so unfair to them. My little girl's name is Snow, and every time you see someone eating somebody else's eggs or somebody else's body, you are going to remember her name. Her name is Snow. She's a beautiful little girl, and she just wants to live. This isn't food. It's violence. It's not food.
I made this post in response to a person who denied their thin privilege and essentially called me an angry fat bitch. I might be fat, and I might be angry, and I might be a bitch, but thin privilege is a real thing. Thin women can be made to feel shitty, but they do not experience institutional, cultural, or individual oppression because of their size. They may be called twig thin, but they will never be made to pay for 2 airplane seats. They will never be made to be a symbol of grotesqueness, of laziness, of general unsexualness. They will never be seen as undesirable and used as a symbol for that. Their bodies will be seen on magazine covers, their bodies will be seen in the media, they will be equally represented and held as the standard for beauty. Fat women don't get that. I don't see people like me in the media, and when I do, it's watching Pitch Perfect when Rebel Wilson says, "I'm horizontal running," because apparently fat people are incapable of being active. Which, I don't know, that's not true for me. I don't think it's true for a lot of fat people.
Western University makes sure all its students are included by providing signs like this around campus. Places labeled as safe spaces let everyone passing by know they are entering a place where everyone is accepted and welcomed for their age, ethnicity, sexuality, gender, and other factors.
We all have more to learn when it comes to safe spaces, but we're doing our absolute best and welcome people of all walks of life into that space.
Worry for my child who is transgendered, and for other students who speak up, and even for the ones who don't, but who are simply not white or cisgendered, or are in some other way at the edges of society. What happens when armed police confront them during a protest or action? Stop letting this generation take advantage of you. They've mortgaged your future. They're crippling you with debt.